Hey guys, today I wanted to share with you my 5 tips for improving your highlights and shadows in your digital artwork. And this is something that I have really struggled with as a mostly self-taught artist, and I think that these are tips that would help you as well because I understand the struggle. As a disclaimer, I am not an expert, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, and yeah, let's begin. My first tip is to remember what the environment is like. For instance, if it's indoors with a single light source, you're going to get some really hard shadows. There's going to be a pretty big difference from where the light and darks are. Whereas if your subject is outdoors in daylight, the sun is going to be lighting up pretty much everything except the cases in which something is blocking something else. If you're finishing off your piece and you just want to add a little bit of a something extra, consider adding a rim light. A rim light is basically a light source that is backlighting a subject, so you can see peaks of the light kind of like poking through and outlining the subject. Be careful not to go overboard with your rim light and like outline the whole entire figure. Usually it's only peeking from like the left or the right side. So here's an example of something that I drew with and without the rim light. And you can kind of see, hopefully, that it just adds a little bit of an extra interest. I'm going to demonstrate something on my face right now that I think will help. So, you'll notice that as I rotate, the light source from the outside isn't changing, but you'll notice that when I'm here, the light is hitting my face here, and all of this side is in shadow. And then as I rotate here, now I'm facing directly at the light source, and now kind of like all of my features are well lit. And so as I rotate this way, you're gonna see the messiness of the studio in a second, but as I rotate this way, now the shadows, oh no, I need to switch hands. Now the shadows are mostly on this side of my face. My next tip is to convert your reference photos into black and white because this helps you see the values of the piece more easily. Remember, it's the values, not the hue or the color, that communicates the form, and it can be hard to see unless your photo is in grayscale. So there's many ways to do this, but I like to create a new layer, fill it in with black, and change the layer setting to saturation, because now I can just toggle back and forth with the reference photo in color and in black and white. My last tip is to study your reference photos, and what I mean by that is to try and identify where the main light source is in the photo that you're using. I have some examples here where I do this exact exercise. I try to draw an arrow representing the light source, and I also outline the highlights and shadows that this light source causes. I do this before I begin drawing, and if you want to just go through several photos like I am, this is a really helpful exercise where you don't even draw it, you're just practicing identifying the light source. If you find a reference photo in which the lighting is a bit too complex or unclear, you might not be ready to draw it just yet, and just keep practicing and you'll notice eventually that your lighting will improve and you'll be able to do more complicated stuff as you continue. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know what other questions or thoughts you have in the comments, and I will see you next time.